What is up, guys? Welcome back to Bass Fishing Declassified, and today we're about to share with you about winter fishing mistakes that anglers make from the beginning to advance. Okay, I love fishing in the winter, and me and Randy are going to share with you guys mistakes we see anglers make, okay, from just our experiences of fishing. And so I'm going to start this thing off right now, guys. I have a couple of mistakes. I was just thinking about one just sitting right here, even as it's starting to feel cold. It's like 50 degrees, 40, 55, 48, 59, 50 degrees right now, and pretty cold down here in the south. But the first thing with that is just the clothing and the protection, not being prepared for winter fishing. I know a lot of guys, and a lot of people even ask me, how do you fish in them 32 degree, 40 degree temperatures, outside air, weather temperatures, or the rain, snow? And it starts off with your equipment, okay, your gear. Guys, for me, one of the biggest things is your hands. Your hands need to be warm. And then you think about gloves, and there are hard gloves there are gloves that are hard to find that you can fish with. Guys, I got a pair. I'm going to show you some footage right now. I'm not really affiliated with a clothing company. I love AFCO and will wear AFCO, but these Bass Pro gloves, neoprene $20 gloves, are been my gloves I've been using for 5 to 6 years. I've gone through 3 pair. They're, like I said, they're cheap, and they have little slots you can take your fingers off to touch your screens or whatever. But guys, I can cast with them, I can fish with them. Comfortable, they keep your hands warm. And then also having hot hands. Sometimes, guys, I have 4 hot hands. I have hot hands inside, I have hot hands in pockets. Sometimes I have 2 in each side just to make sure they are staying warm, okay? And then with the clothing, I wear the leggings. I have pants that are very movable and breathable still, just to make sure. And then, of course, the bibs, okay? There's a lot of great bibs companies out there, okay? I'm not going to try to sit here and tell you. I've worn the Bass Pro models. I have the AFCO right now. But, guys, make sure you stay warm. It's always okay to have more on than less, okay? I always wear a beanie. I like to now, there's a lot of hoodies now with the neck gaiter that even comes up. I should probably have this stuff out, but anyway, guys, I'll give you some footage of me just fishing to show you guys just kind of examples. But make sure you have enough clothes. You can always take them off, okay? Always take them off. The next thing about winter fishing, guys, is you can still catch them in the winter. A lot of anglers, okay, I think more beginning anglers, there are some advanced anglers that don't want to go out and fish in the cold, but for me, I love fishing in the winter, but because I understand that I might not have days of a lot of fish. You can have days in the winter with a lot of fish catches, but it's not like the spring and summer. Winter, you're going after 5 to 7 quality bites. I understand that. I enjoy that. I like catching big fish. So if you like catching big fish, the winter is the time, okay? I've caught my biggest fish in the winter. I've caught a lot of quality in the winter. But just also there's not as much boats on the water because it's cold, okay? So that's just the second mistake. It's just like, hey, you can catch them in the winter. Third mistake is, and this was a mistake I made, and I'm sharing a bunch right here. This mistake I made, or I had for early on. I never understood that you can still throw fast power moving lures in the winter. I always heard of a lipless crankbait bite. I made a video on this channel last year talking about it. But like, I really didn't think you can catch fish winding in the winter. I always fish slow. I was really good with the football jig growing up, and I just never could get that crankbait bite in the winter. But I knew it existed. Now there are times you have to reel a little slower, but guys, there are fish that can be shallow. That's it, shallow, and you can catch them with moving fast baits. Okay, you don't got to always just be going slow. Now, some of you guys in the north, when that water temperatures do get in the 40s, you might have to reel a little bit slower, even with those crankbaits. But you can still catch them on deeper kind of whopper style or tighter style crankbaits. Kind of could feel like that deep little end was really, really famous down here. The Fritz side is a good one right now. Lipless crankbait, okay, just a couple options there. And so that was my other one, the fast moving baits ain't even catch fish shallow. I always thought you catch fish deep in the winter. Right, I mean, yesterday fishing, we caught fish in 30 to 50 feet. But there are fish shallow to be caught, okay? Stained water, of course, shallow. Look for rock transitions. Your flatter areas, fish will still relate to wood, okay? Guys, there's even been a time my lake that I used to live by down there, Lake Millwood, I mean, I'm talking end of December, early January, 3-4 days of 40 degree highs, and then all of a sudden you have 2-3 days of 50, 60 degree highs. You can go up there in 1 to 2 foot of water, and those fish are moving up there. It's warm, and you can catch them flipping, catch them shallow, okay? So, guys, that's just a couple of the mistakes top of my head. All right, biggest one is make sure you are dressed right, okay? Make sure you dress right. Okay guys, let's go see what Randy has to say.
If you guys enjoy the content in this video and want more personalized instruction, head to our website, fishthemoment.com. Then go to the virtual lessons page. Here you can book one-on-one virtual lessons with each member of the Fish the Moment team. In these 1-hour lessons, the Fish the Moment team member will break down your lake using Google Earth and a contour line map and answer any questions you have. Whether you're preparing for an upcoming fishing tournament or a fun weekend on the lake, make sure you sign up for one of these one-on-one virtual lessons so you're fully prepared to catch as many fish as possible on the water. Check them out at fishthemoment.com.
Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of Bass Fishing Declassified. Really appreciate you guys joining us for today's episode. We're going to be talking about common winter bass fishing mistakes. I'm going to talk about the most common one that I see in terms of my favorite lure technique, which is jerkbait fishing in the winter months. Now, anyway, everybody knows jerkbait fishing is the way to go in the wintertime. I'm going to guess that a little swim bait, jerkbait, a rig, that type of stuff, maybe a spoon is some of the top winter techniques. And jerkbait is my staple by far. And one of the things that I can tell you for sure, guys, is the biggest mistake that most people make in the wintertime is they fish jerkbaits that are too large. Now, the jerkbaits that I like to go to are the finesse models, like this Megabass X Nanahan series. This is the X Nanahan Plus One. And here's a Megabass Vision 110 Plus One Junior, which is still a finessey jerkbait, but you can see how much bigger it is than the little finessey X Nanahan. Now guys, here's a couple different reasons why this works better. It's like in the wintertime, the metabolism of the fish, number one, it slows down. They don't have to eat as much, so they automatically go for stuff that doesn't require as much energy. They don't need as much food. So downsizing your lure size to something that moves really slow and is smaller, like a bite-sized tidbit, it's a lot more appealing to a fish. That's one of the things that I found out about it as well. Another thing is water temperature has a big deal in it. It's like, whatever the reason, it's sort of one of those mysteries in bass fishing, is when that water temperature starts to bottom out in the coldest part of the winter, and it could be in the 50s if you're in Texas, or it could be in the upper 30s if you're here where I live in Missouri. But when that water temperature bottoms out wherever you're fishing, that's normally the time of year where they bite the smallest lures. And again, it's the mood and the personality, the metabolism of the fish that all contribute to that. So this is my favorite one, guys, this little X Nanahan Plus One. I usually put it on 4 to 6 pound test Seaguard VizX line, and I fish it on any lake that has visibility of over 3 foot clarity. It is a visual strike bait, and since it is smaller, you need a little bit cleaner water. So 3 foot plus, 3 foot up into 15 foot clarity is the ideal scenario with this bait. Now, another thing with that, along with the common winter mistakes as far as people using, too large of a jerk bait, is also people tend to fish too slow in the wintertime. One of the big myths in fishing in the wintertime is that bass are super sluggish and inactive and lethargic. Now, while their metabolism has slowed down, they can still move a lot faster than what you think, especially in clear water. So guys, if you're in a lake that has clear water, like water visibility of over 4 or 5 foot, and it's cold, you don't have to let these little jerk baits set and soak forever, like suspending jerk baits where you let it set forever and ever. You can keep working them at a pretty good pace because it's a strike-oriented bait. And since in the clear water, bass react more to sight than they do by sound or anything like that, the movement of the faster jerk, and even in that cold water, you can get a reaction strike out of it. Guys, I've had bass, I've been fishing in 37-degree water before, where I'll reel my jerkbait in, and there's a bass moving real fast trying to get it as I'm reeling in. So don't think that they can't move fast just because the water's cold. That's, definitely, they can definitely do that. So two biggest mistakes I see guys making in the wintertime, guys, is they use too big of lures, too big of jerkbaits, and they fish too slow. Downsize your presentations, and not that you have to fish them fast, but just speed it up a little bit, cover some water, and that's one of the things that works for me here in the Ozarks. I catch a lot of bass all winter long doing that. So hope it helps out, guys. We'll talk later.